Start recording. Stop recording. Button.
Hey guys, this is Manny here, and again on my Yukio series, I apologize that the title is not corrected. I had a bit of an issue there, so I apologize for that. And saying disclaimer again, I'm not taking credit for Yukio. I'm not taking anything credit. I just thought I'd do this so fans will be up to date, since I am a Yukio fan myself. So now to continue on with the video. Now, in Season 2 of Duel Monsters, which is different from the first season, you could summon monsters without having to tribute anything, or as I would call it, sacrificing. So later on, like for Yuji, and an example I will give here is his duel that he has with the Mind Slave of Marek, or the Mind Slave where he duels Marek, and where Marek uses Slifer the Sky Dragon for the first time. And basically, he uses this method to summon out Buster Blader, where he basically, I believe he sacrificed 2 of the 3 monsters to bring out Buster Blader, because if you're talking level
Low
8...
power mode turned off. Battery sufficiently charged.
Thanks, Siri. So if you're summoning out like level 8 or level 10 monsters, you're gonna need a sacrifice to bring them out. You're going to at least tribute 3 sacrifices, because normally summoning out the likes of, say, Obelisk the Tormentor, you need 3 sacrifices. Summon out Slifer, you need 3 sacrifices. To summon out Ra, you need 3 sacrifices. But with Ra, you can summon him, but he's a lot weaker when you summon him without sacrificing. Now, another thing I'll also bring up as well, which is also the same with higher level monsters, is ritual cards. So Yuji uses Dark Chaos Ritual, for example. I think that's the name of the card. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. That's what I'd ask you to do. If I'm uneducated, please correct me in the comments section. Thank you. And he uses this to summon out Dark Magician of Black Chaos, which is how he can evolve Dark Magician. And I might point out, Dark Magician is one of my favorite monsters. Especially one thing you can use in combination with it is the likes of magical hats, where you can conceal monsters other than the Dark Magician, the Mystic Box. Another card I like, and Joey actually uses this when Yuki and him are in a tag duel against the Big Five, or a 2-on-1 duel, since it was Tristan, but it was the Big Five in his body. Joey uses a card called Knight's Title, and I like how it evolves Dark Magician into Dark Magician Knight. And I love how when Yuji says Dark Magician Knight, attack with Knight with Sword of Dark Magic Attack. Because I'm a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan, so that I just loved it. Now, another concept of sacrificing, because in my opinion, you say ritual, but ritual and sacrificing are no different. You can say there's a difference, I'm not going to disagree or agree, but there is a big difference, like how one higher level monster Marek also brought out with this would have been I think it was the Zort, because he used Sword Ritual. I've actually forgot the name of that monster, but that's the monster he uses. Another sacrifice moment I love is where Jaden, as the Supreme King, he basically sacrifices Avion to bring out Melissa's Edge, Dark Elemental Hero Melissa's Edge, and he's actually one of my favorite Dark Elemental heroes. Like, You know, he's like my favorite elemental heroes. Like, his ability is where, you know, if there's a difference between it and the other monster's attack or defense, the opponent takes that as damage. Another sacrifice moment I'll actually point out is with the Dark Ubel Jesse and Adrian Gecko, where he basically sacrifices his two Flaming Torch tokens so he can summon the card version of Ubel, which she must, like, to use a sacrifice to bring her out. You know, she's a higher level monster. I don't know what level she is because I'm blind and visually impaired, so I actually don't know what level she is. Um, any of my subscribers, like you guys say you're Yu-Gi-Oh fans, can you actually look up the level of Ubel and actually add it in the comments section? Because that'd actually be helpful. Thank you. Now, another um, another concept I'm going to talk about in this video, and in my opinion, Yugi uses it on many monsters, and that would be, and this is one card I like. I'm actually like, I think it's time I got into that video because I am talking about sacrificing a ritual. Well, another card I'm going to point out here is polymerization and the concept of fusion. How if you have the right fusion material monsters, you can basically, you know, you summon the fusion version of that monster where it's a lot powerful. Now, in Duel Monsters, the fusion monster is summoned where it you know, where it's like it's a different kind of monster. But I like how in GX they showed that that monster has power level. Like Flare Wingman, for example, how when that's summoned out, how it you'll see on it, and I know this for a fact, where it's level 6. Like it's a level 6 fusion monster. Now, there are many fusions. Now, one fusion I like in particular, two fusions in the first season I like, is with um, I'm pretty sure it's a Curse of Dragon and Gaia the Fierce Knight, and how they can be evolved into Gaia the Dragon Champion monster that I like. Another fusion I like is with Red Eye's Black Dragon with Summon Skull, how they can be fused together into the Supreme Black Skull Dragon. I also like another fusion, which is with Buster Blader and Dark Magician, where they become the Dark Paladin. And I like how Dark Paladin has the same abilities as Buster Blader, where it can gain 500 attack for any dragon monster on the field or in the graveyard. Now guys, another fusion monster that's on this list, I'm going to include it, is Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, where if you fuse the three Blue Eyes White Dragons together, where it's basically an unstoppable monster. Although there are ways of beating it. I will point that out. And also in the sacrifices, one higher level monster that Joey had in his deck, and he used this monster in the shadow game with Marek, would have been Gilfrey the Lightning. And I'm pretty sure that it's either level 8 or level 9, or it could have been a level 10, but you know. Another fusion monster, and I actually read this in one of the Yu-Gi-Oh transcripts, and I'm actually surprised that this level is high. Rainbow Dragon. Apparently, Rainbow Dragon is a level 10, which, you know, it's one of my favourites. And actually, another fusion monster, if you fuse the Rainbow Dragon and Neos, you come up with, you basically get Rainbow Neos. And I like Rainbow Neos for obvious reasons. The fact it has 3 special abilities. In my opinion, you bring out a fusion monster that has 3 special abilities, you're bringing out the big guns. Another concept I'll also bring up is, and Kaiba does this, where, you know, like X Dragon Cannon, for example, and how, you know, in the end, how you have XYZ Dragon Cannon. You know, how monsters, you know, when the parts of that monster are summoned, where they automatically build up into that monster. And even in Zexal, with the Sparkfire, um, with Nelson Andrews, how when he has the right monsters on his field, how he can call out the Iron Jet. You know, it's a higher level, but it has all the parts of the other monsters used to bring it out. Its attack points combined to theirs.